Hey everyone, welcome to the Amoretti Test Kitchen. I'm Kelly. Today we're going to be making a deliciously simple gluten-free and vegan espresso chocolate chip cookie cake with a vegan buttercream frosting. I know it sounds like a lot, but this recipe is super quick and easy to make, and it takes about 35 minutes total to whip up. For this recipe, we're going to be using our espresso coffee extract, as well as our vanilla Madagascar Bourbon 2X, and our brown sugar extract as well. This will be our frosting, and this will be in the base of our cookie. I chose to use the espresso coffee extract in this recipe rather than regular espresso because it won't change the consistency of the dough, but it'll also enhance the flavors of chocolate, some of the vanilla, as well as the brown sugar. I also chose to use the brown sugar in this recipe for our frosting because it won't actually add any more sweetness to our frosting recipe, which is really important as brown sugar incorporated with powdered sugar to make a buttercream would be very, very sweet. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started making our dough. I'm gonna start by adding in our coconut oil. I did half a cup here. This just replaces the egg as well as the butter in this recipe, especially for those that are vegan. Makes it a lot tastier. And it doesn't really have like a huge coconut flavor left behind. So if you're worried about that, don't be. Then I'm going in with 1/4 cup of applesauce. And I'm also gonna do 1/4 cup of full-fat coconut milk. And I'm also gonna add 1.25 cups of brown sugar. I use light brown sugar for this recipe. And then we mix. Okay, so now I'm gonna add in our espresso coffee extract. I'm only gonna do about 1.5 teaspoons of this. You can totally change this up if you want more of that coffee flavor. I just want it to slightly elevate the cookie and not overpower it. All right, now I'm just gonna add 2 teaspoons of our vanilla Madagascar bourbon extract. Now that everything's in the mixer, I'm just gonna go ahead and give this another good mix and make sure everything's incorporated and that there's no chunks of coconut oil left behind. All right, now that all of our wet ingredients are combined, I'm gonna go ahead and start adding in our flour, baking soda, and salt. This recipe calls for 2 1/3 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I also like to add just like a few shakes of cinnamon powder in here just to kind of spice up the recipe. I think along with the espresso, it'll really help to just enhance the cookie dough. Now I'm gonna mix. I'm gonna first lightly pulse this so it doesn't make the flour go everywhere, and then we'll get it up onto a good speed. Now that all the ingredients are combined, I'm going to finish off with a whole bag of mini chocolate chips. Okay, so now we have our dough, our grease pan. I also put down a little circle of parchment paper because the cookie dough will stick to the pan. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and pour this in. Okay, so our cookie cake is all set and ready to go in the oven, but before I do that, I'm just gonna top it off with one last ingredient, some quirky sea salt. All right, so we're gonna pop this in the oven at 375 for 18 to 20 minutes. Depending on your oven, you might want to adjust, but just keep an eye on it. Okay, so while our cookie's baking in the oven, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the frosting. First things first, I'm gonna go ahead and beat the butter and get it nice and fluffy. Okay, now that we've whipped our vegan butter, I'm just gonna go ahead and pour in those 3 cups of powdered sugar. I'm actually gonna do half of it first just so it doesn't fly everywhere. And now I'm gonna pour in the rest of our powdered sugar. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of almond milk. We're also gonna do our brown sugar extract. I'm gonna pour in a teaspoon of this. This is gonna give us that nice, rich molasses flavor while keeping the sweetness of the frosting pretty low. I'm also gonna go in with 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla just to give it some vanilla flavor. And lastly, I'm gonna add a little bit more cinnamon to our frosting just to kind of tie in that cinnamon flavor we added in our cookie as well. And now we're gonna mix. All right, now that our cookie cake has cooled, I'm just gonna go ahead and ice it with our vegan buttercream. I added all of our brown sugar vegan buttercream into a piping bag, and I'm just gonna do some fun little designs on here. And there you have it, our vegan and gluten-free espresso chocolate chip cookie cake with our brown sugar vegan buttercream frosting. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you did, make sure to leave us a comment down below. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our new videos. Be sure to follow us at Amoretti on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye!